Hi guys, welcome back to Bohs Fan TV, and today we're back with another video discussing our Europa Conference League qualifying first and second round draws that were done over the last 24 hours. We spoke about it a couple of videos ago where I was going to do a reaction to the draws when they were done, and we now know our opponents for the first qualifying round and also the second if we are able to get past the first qualifying round. So first up, it's going to be St. Joseph's of Gibraltar, which is a pretty good draw. I think we were all very happy enough when that was announced. When you looked at the other potential opponents, you had a few in there as well that if we drew, let's say, Levadia, Tallinn, or a different ang from Luxembourg, you could have said, right, they're also games that we can't get through. But there were a couple of others as well, like RFS from Latvia, who are quite a good outfit from the Baltics. So we could have ended up with something a bit more tougher. But St. Joseph's of Gibraltar is who we're taking on in the first qualifying round, and we know that they've come up against a couple of other League of Ireland teams over the last couple of years. Shamrock Rovers last year, where Rovers beat them 4-0 away, and it was a 0-0 draw in Tallaght. Shells played them there a couple of years ago, beat them in Talca Park, dribbled them in Gibraltar. So they were both able to get past them. So we'll be looking to do the same, of course, and it's not a bad trip either. It's fairly easy to get to. It's certainly easier compared to where we could have ended up. We could have ended up in the Faroes and another place that we mentioned as well. So I think that in terms of getting a trip organised, it's fairly simple. But I'm happy enough for the draw. We're at home in the first leg as well. It's currently down to take place on the 6th of July in Dalymount. So that's going to be a great occasion to have a European game in Dalymount for the first time in a very long time. That's going to be a really great night. I really can't wait for that game. And in terms of the draw, itself, it's a really good one. One of the better ones that we could have asked for. So first qualifying round, we take on St. Joseph's of Gibraltar. Then today we had the second qualifying round draw, and should we progress against St. Joseph's, we'll be taking on Key Nomads of Wales or Balkani of Kosovo. If all goes well against St. Joseph's, of course, I think we've got another good draw there. Obviously, we've got bad memories from going to Wales in the past, TNS all those years ago. But I think, again, it could have been worse. We could have ended up with Partizan Belgrade, who are quite a solid outfit from Serbia. So it could have been a bit worse. And of course, very little about either Key Nomads or Balkani. But I think on the face of it, it's a doable draw. It's a tie that we can definitely get through. Of course, we need to do the business against St. Joseph's, but when you look at two ties in general, both the first qualifying round and the potential for the second qualifying round, I think we've done really well for an unseeded team. So look, we can all start to get excited now. We've really been waiting for this moment for quite a while. In 2021, of course, it was great having the 3 games in the Aviva, and we all had a great time, but couldn't really enjoy it properly, of course, because of COVID. So this time around, it's gonna be really nice to enjoy all the good that comes with it properly, and being able to travel abroad and really enjoy it all together as fans. So just to recap then, we take on St. Joseph's of Gibraltar in the first qualifying round, home leg taking place on July 6th, the away leg taking place on July 16th. Then if we manage to get through that tie, it's Key, Nomads or Balkani. And those ties are provisionally down as the 23rd of July and the 30th. But I think there is a chance that it could be rescheduled, of course, with Shelburne also being penciled down to be at home against either Linfield or Calju. So there is a chance that our game is rescheduled. But we'll keep an eye out for anything about that. So yeah, that's where I'll end it. Make sure you like, subscribe, share, comment down below what you thought about the draw. Are you happy? And I will see you for the preview for the Dundalk game tomorrow. Bye bye.